Oh my god, happy Monday, guys. We are back with another IG Live. Today I am going to be joined by Maria Thiakos. Ooh, I probably butchered her fucking name. Y'all know her as Goddess Glam. She is one of, in my opinion, one of the paramount leaders in the industry when it comes to designing beautiful contest prep suits, whether you are bikini, wellness, figure, or WPD. Maria is an absolute blast to work with. I personally work alongside of her to build my competition suit, and she's also designed not only my practice suits, but then also phenomenal practice suits and posing suits for a lot of my athletes. So we're going to invite her in and be talking all things contest prep when it comes to designing your dreams. Doesn't give us a headache when it comes to, playing kind of tag when it comes to, letting people into the lives. Hey, not too bad. Hello, hello. How are you?
Hi, Ash. I'm doing really well. How are you doing?
I am so freaking tired, but we're here. We're happy. We're drinking some tea. Do me a favor. How do you pronounce your full name?
Maria Thiakos.
Wow, I was not even close.
You're not the only one. It's okay.
Is it Greek?
Yes.
Okay,
Mhm.
so I at least had that right. But
Yes.
yeah, the pronunciation was a little rough on my end.
It's okay. Again, like I said, you're not the only one.
That makes me feel so good. So why don't you kind of tell us a little bit about, like, what's your origin story, right? Like, I'm big into superheroes, so what's your origin story and how did you essentially create such a successful business when it comes to creating people's dream bikinis? Like, were you previously a competitor? Let's kind of dive into that.
So, yes, competing was definitely the catalyst into me starting my business. However, or perhaps the gateway is a better word for it. But my business really pursued me, I feel, more than I pursued it. And I suppose what I mean by that is, I never, it was never like a dream that I had. It was never like my intention to ever even have my own business.
No
I,
kidding.
no, I really just wanted to be like a stay-at-home mom, and I wanted like a bunch of babies. Never worked out for me, unfortunately, but you know, we have other blessings to be thankful for. So, but I competed before. I was interested in bodybuilding a lot, and I competed for my first show back in April of 2014, which I competed in figure, which figure those days was different than
Sure.
what it is now. So those figure days, and I wanted to work on my own suit, just really in an effort to save money, and also because I felt like I could. So, but I never sewed it myself. I bought it from another local designer, but it was plain, and so I wanted to be the one to bling it out, so I did. And then there was another girl I knew who like had the same prep coach as me, and so she needed help with her suit. She also had a plain figure suit that needed embellishment, and so I did hers. And then there was another friend and another friend here, over a lengthy period of time. And my boyfriend at the time um, was a prep coach at the time, and so he would get female clients, and then he would feed them to me to help them with their suit. And I have prior crafting experience and also sewing skills from my youth. My mom was a professional seamstress in her youth, so she taught me some things. And just from uh, moving to Texas and working with these girls, and um, just at some point I became a single parent. Him and I had my daughter, and then we split, and then I needed income, and this was kind of already working, and it really just kind of snowballed over time. And I think also location played a big role, being in Dallas Fort Worth. It's a central hub for a lot of industries,
Oh,
but for bodybuilding as well. And also that was the time too when Instagram was kind of ramping up,
mhm.
so social media also played a huge role in my growth. So it was a combination of just like doing something in a right place in a right time. And of course there's always adversity involved, and hustling, and survival mode, and so that's, and here I am 10 years later. So
I think incredible because you say snowball where it's that to me implies almost a degree of randomness, but in reality when I hear your story I hear passion through adaptability, right? Like you pivoted, you
Yeah.
started with your love of bodybuilding as a figure athlete, you wanted to be a mom, you did get your dream as being a mom, then
Hmm.
circumstances changed, you pivoted, and rather than throwing in the towel, you decide to start a business. And that takes a lot of guts, that takes a lot of grit, and you use your skills from like, growing up with your mom being a seamstress into literally
Hmm.
creating a business and a stream of revenue and income to support you and your daughter. So for me, from my perspective, I don't see Frosty the Snowman. I see like boss bitch creating an opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you for that. That's validating. But yeah, it's it's been a journey and it's been rewarding in lots of different types of ways. So
Oh, I'm sure. And I mean, plus,
yeah,
like, you are one of the best at what you do. Like, your
thank you.
results speak for themselves when it comes to not only your professionalism and working with you, and I can attest to that, and my clients and athletes can attest to your professionalism, but also your passion and level of care. Like, as bodybuilding athletes, like you were one too, like you took your suit into your own hands because you wanted to feel confident on stage. As
Yes.
females and as also males, it's like more so females, it's like our suit needs to be an outward reflection of our personality. It can't just
Yes.
be like our favorite colors. It essentially needs to be our entire essence, our aura projected on stage. So it's like we do all the hard work with the dieting and the exercise and the training and our, working with coaches to help get the physique ready. But you help
Yes.
us with our personality. You help us to actually shine on stage.
Yes. And that everything you just said explains thoroughly why the bikini really isn't just about the bikini.
Mm-hmm.
It's about it's more about how you feel in the bikini and who who do you want to be when you're finally on that stage? What do you want to present?
Absolutely.
What,
No,
you know, some girls need like an alter ego. Like what do you want to showcase? And that's really all a part of it. And not to say that the suit is the most important part or the most important factor in your prep experience and your show day experience, but it is just another one of those details that needs to be fine tuned, because at the end of the day, your best package is when all of those details come together and are just perfect, when they're all just in the right place.
absolutely. No, I couldn't agree more. So, kind of going into I would say the starting process of wanting to work with you when it comes to designing your dream suit. What, in your opinion, do you see that it's like a lot of common mistakes that athletes come to you being like, "Oh, I want this for my suit," and you're like, "Well, let's rethink this."
A lot of concern. So when I get clients that come to me and maybe they've worked with a previous suit designer and there was something that they were dissatisfied with from that previous suit designer, it's usually the fit. And the fit of the suit, it's like a frame. It's like a frame for your physique. And I think the most common concern I hear is I just put the measurements in online, and I did this and I took all the recommendations and blah blah blah. But they were kind of going at it on their own. They weren't like being guided and handheld along the way. And
Hmm.
I think I just do more of the hand holding, which I'm happy to help. Um, so a lot of concerns most of the time is uh, concerns over the fit.
Mhm.
My last suit that I got, I never got to try it on. It just, I just put in the measurements and it came to the mail, but it was still just very off. Or new clients that have never competed before will just be intimidated by just giving the information and then anticipating like a suit, and you know what? Sometimes that does work for some athletes. Sometimes that's a hit, but sometimes it's a miss. So I'm trying to just eliminate more of the misses.
I
if that makes
I think
sense.
that's 100% spot on because I can tell you I worked with two suit designers, and one was, I would say, more budget friendly, and the other one was a high end, like higher end company, well known, a lot of IFBB Pro sponsorships. And my experiences with them were completely different. The lesser known brand, like honestly, I felt more a part of the process, and the suit fit a lot better. And then the other high, well known company, like the fit was not it. It was not it, and
Sure.
the back and forth customer service, like I felt more of as a bother and a burden, not as like a paying patron where I'm representing your suit and your brand on stage. And
Right.
it definitely showed in my confidence levels. And I think it's really important
Yes.
to, to do the hand holding because every woman, especially females, every woman's body is different. I
Yeah.
mean, we get told that even in our jeans, you know what I'm saying? So why
Right.
is our suit any different? Like it should be so customizable because your body is unique and it should fit literally like a glove.
Oh, absolutely. And just the same way that you get a customized meal plan or a customized training protocol or a customized posing routine to
Routine.
highlight the best features of your physique, the bikini shouldn't be an exception to that rule. It should all be tailored to your physique. And with regard to other companies, like no discredit to them, like they just have their own, like they're in their own
Yeah,
lane, and I'm just in my lane, and we all do things kind of differently, and I may not be for everyone,
sure.
but I
100%.
believe in what I do, and I have good intentions for what I do. And regardless of who I work with, I'm going to treat everybody with the same intention and respect.
And as someone that does work with you, I can 100% attest to that. And, I think that goes into a good topic of designing your suit. Like, what are some things that, as a suit designer, do you take into consideration when it comes to helping your client achieve her best look on stage? Like, are you looking at hair color, eye color, skin tone? Like, what makes for some fabric to look good on one athlete versus another fabric of the same literally color look almost awful on another? Like, tell me your kind of thought process there.
Sure. So all of those things that you mentioned, skin, hair, eyes, but also personality and also energy, and certain colors, like certain colors make you feel a certain way, right? And I think there's a science to this, right? It's people have been kind of throwing the term color theory around. I think that's part of it, and I'm pretty sure that's what I do. I just don't have a certification in it, but I probably should get one. That would add to my credibility maybe. But yeah, all of those factors, but I don't. I again, I treat everyone as an individual.
Mhm.
I don't. I'm not categorizing you in the black haired girl box, and these are the only colors we have to work with. Uh, like I don't like to make generalizations of
Mhm.
blondes should resort to these colors, brunettes should resort to these colors, because the truth of the matter is, me personally, I've made uh, every color suit for both blondes and brunettes.
Mhm.
Maybe there are a couple of outliers here, like red haired girls, depending on the shade of red. Like those are more exceptional cases to work with, or someone with colored hair. That's a little bit more. We have to be a little bit more careful with that, so that everything doesn't seem too out of place. Like again, it's a puzzle piece. It should all just fit, right? Um, but yeah, so all of those external factors, and then just like personality. Like again, it goes back to who do you want to be when you're on stage? How do you want to feel? What do you want to showcase?
I love
So
that. That's great.
yeah, it's a mix. It's not so concrete
Mhm.
of
So when
a
it comes
signing
to,
process.
yeah, no, I think that's fantastic because you're right. There's a lot more than taking into consideration just like the physical manifestation. It's also like the outward projection of like who you want to, who you want to personify on stage.
Mhm.
And with that, like what are maybe some initial, like I know we talked about like concerns where it's like the suit didn't fit right, but what are some like things that maybe a brand new athlete comes to you with when it comes to like their generalized suit design where you're like, it may be better if we think about this. Like are they married to a certain color, married to a certain like gem design? Like what are some like maybe common mistakes that you do see as a suit designer?
Common like mistakes of other suit designers or mistakes of like a client's thought
The
process
second
or
one,
both?
the thought process on the client.
Okay. Uh, so let me think. Examples. In the past, okay. In the past, I've had a girl come in and she was like, "I really want like a neon green suit because my neon green swim bikini looked so good on me when I was so tan last summer." And I'm like,
Great.
uh, but like the neon colors, the ones that are so contrasting, are just not that they don't look good on the girls. It's just they're so loud on
Hmm.
stage. It outshines your physique.
Yep.
There's a degree of sophistication and elegance with it, and neon. When you think of neon stuff, I think of like raves, and this is not a rave. So okay, that's an example. Colors, or maybe they'll just come in with a color and they're like, I really want to wear red, or I really want to wear green, or whatever the color, and maybe it just doesn't like highlight them as nicely as another color would. So if they come in and they're just like really adamant about a particular color, um, and if it looks good on them, if that's what they're going to feel best in, I have no problem accommodating. If they come in and they're like, I was thinking like this color, but I'm open to suggestions, and okay, like let's look at these other options because just in my opinion, I think these would look nice on you. So let's just see what you think and how you feel with them kind of laid over your chest. And um, so mistakes, I'm having a hard time thinking about like mistakes or okay, here's I wouldn't say a mistake, but a misconception.
Perfect.
And I've spoken about this before, but with regard to sizing and with regard to the proverbial pro cut, uh, that tiny of a bikini just doesn't look good on everyone. So when you're advertising like this athlete and she wore a pro cut, like and then you go and you order the same bikini in the pro cut, but they may not understand that like their physique as an amateur is not at the same level as their physique as a seasoned professional athlete, and that framework of a bikini is just not going to flatter their physique as well as it did for that professional athlete. As amateurs, a lot of amateurs just don't have that degree of muscle density or um, conditioning to where like they can just wear anything that they want.
Right.
This is a reason why I am not very fond of like those V-shape bottoms in the front, and I never have been for the bikini or wellness divisions because again of this misconception. They see it on the athletes that can pull them off again because they have enough uh, muscularity and conditioning to where they'll look good in anything. You put them in a string bikini and like they'll rock it because they just look that good. But
Right.
like amateurs, like I don't want to be rude, but like I want you to look good and I want you to look in the mirror and feel good in what you're wearing. And that like it's not copy paste.
Hmm. I love that you said that. And that kind of actually kind of spirals into the next question I had for you about the rules and regulations when it comes to suit bottoms. Like I know like Tyler and Sandy kind of both warned about suit cuts. And I wanted to hear like your take on how to make sure that girls don't get either, disqualified or, points off due to improper suit design. So I would love to hear your thoughts kind of like regarding the suit cuts and like the I don't want to. It's not professionalism, but like, okay, we don't want to be seeing your butthole or your hoo ha on stage. So, like,
Right.
as a suit designer, like, what are some things that like you really want to make sure that you do a good job of when it comes to the suit cut?
Okay, for the suit cut. So, um, it's so hard to quantify and
Hmm.
objectify because again, every girl's physique is different, but it's more about the balance or like the proportion of like fabric to skin.
Hmm.
And I'm not sure what that proportion is exactly, but when I see it, I feel like I
Yeah.
know it. And I think, it all starts at the pro level, right? So, you see what the pro athletes are wearing, you see what they're being judged in, and then the nationally leveled athletes just mimic what they're wearing. And if they look good in that tiny of a bikini, by all means, rock it. You look good in it. You earned that aesthetic
Hmm.
to wear like that small or that color, well, whatever. Like you look good in it. Everything looks balanced. That detail is in its perfect place. And then it just keeps filtering down. And um, so uh, where do I go from here? Describing all that, the cuts. So yeah, it all starts at the top. It filters its way down. I guess whatever is most commonly worn, and um, as long as everyone looks good. Like again, like just because she's wearing the tiniest bikini doesn't mean I'm going to put you in the tiniest bikini if you don't look good in it. If it looks too risque. But if you do look good in it, I'm happy to put you in it because it does flatter your glutes nicely. Um, I feel like I'm going a little bit off the rails. Like I'm not staying in one lane
No,
with
I
my
think
explanation
you're
here,
doing a
but
good job because
uh,
your whole message is it needs to be custom to the female. You can't just be put
yes,
in a box and have like,
yes,
the 4 or 5 overarching suit cuts that like, we're all thinking about like medium coverage, pro cut, it's like micro cut.
right,
It's like those are nice for marketing because it makes sense if you're completely
yes,
new. But again, if you don't have the density, like again, we're thinking like glute length, glute size. We're thinking about okay, on the front of the female, like again,
sure,
sure our privates are covered. Like I'm sorry, everyone has different lengths
yes,
there. You can't just be
yes,
like shoved into a box. It needs to be measured, so therefore it's covered
right.
up.
Right. And even if we measure, like, yes, numbers, measurements, that's a concrete detail we can use, right? But I can measure two girls, right? And both girls will have the same measurement around their glutes. Let's say like 36 inches and 36 inches. They're the same measurements. But maybe one of them is more conditioned than the other one. This one has more body fat, this one has less body fat but more muscle. So like the levels of conditioning also play a role.
Mhm.
So it's not two physiques are the same, really. Um, and okay, like the attire for the bodybuilding stage is very unforgiving, right? But I still believe that there's a degree of tastefulness that can be achieved, elegance.
Mhm.
We don't. It's like when they walk on stage, like you don't want to have that subjective judgment of like, oh my gosh, like I'm just seeing too much,
Yep.
or I don't, like the front of the bottoms can't be gaping too much in the front.
Yep.
Um, so
There's a finesse to it. Absolutely. I mean,
there is a finesse to it.
yeah.
I've learned, and I keep learning. Like every year, like there's still. I mean, with the new fit model division too, like there's so much to learn, and bikini over the years has evolved, and wellness over the years has evolved. So we have to keep up with like what are the pros like what, not just the pros, but what are all athletes generally looking best in. So I would say that there is a standard of some sort. But again, like each athlete is unique.
100%. And then obviously we did a pretty good job covering the bottoms, but then like I know wellness, especially like a couple of years ago, they did like their mermaid underwire. Do you see that phasing out as a suit designer, and are you like happy about it, or are you like, oh, I kind of like liked this moment?
It's absolutely phased out
Yeah.
now. That they were wearing that style because before wellness came to the States, wellness overseas, that was their suit standard
Mm.
overseas. It was the underwire cup with the V-shape bottoms that didn't have connectors on them. But then here in the US, people just, we all started playing around a bit more. And of course, with feedback from judges and coaches, and well, how do we want to maintain some consistency level here? Because, the underwire tops, they do add like more push up, and they just added like more, they attract more attention to the upper body. Well, with wellness, the focus should be more on the lower body. So they were like, I started hearing girls telling me, the judges said like they want to see me in this triangle top, like they don't want to see, I need to get a new top because they don't want to see me in the underwire top. Even professional athletes. So I'm like, okay, we need to nix that. It's, so that was a transition. And then same thing with the V-shaped bottoms. That's where the V-shaped bottoms first came into play. Was because of wellness, and then that's how some of the bikini athletes started wearing the V-shaped bottoms also. So yeah, to answer your question, the underwire tops done. I think just having all girls in like the triangle shape is less distracting than seeing like one girl with a regular bikini top here, one girl with an underwire top here, just getting kind of thrown off. So
Got you. No, but I just wanted to hear your opinion and your take on that. If you were like glad it's over with, or if you're like, oh no, I kind of like the moment.
I liked it. I thought they were very pretty. My girls that work for me that embellish them, some of them enjoyed stoning the underwire tops, and some of them did not. So I don't have to deal with which bikinis to delegate to which girl,
I love that. That's awesome. And really just one final question before maybe we can answer if anyone has any questions that are watching us live. But what is the best way to care for this investment? Because you and I spoke on, even during our call, it's like, listen, like these bikinis are expensive. It's not like just going to Hollister, spending like, $80 on a bikini. These are like several $100 bikinis. So what is the best way to care for your suit so that way it lasts as long as possible?
Yeah, of course. So I always include a little like thank you card with my suits, and on the back of the cards there's cleaning and care instructions on there. So I never submerge Goddess Glam suits underwater, and I'll explain why. Is the glue that we use to adhere the crystals to the suit, it's water soluble, so if it interacts with water it'll activate and become loose, and so stones can shift or they may just fall off. So never completely soak it in water, but definitely take like a washcloth with damp water with like a little mild soap, and just clean like the lining from the tanner, just kind of get as much of it off as you can. And then the straps, like the back straps and the shoulder straps, those can be rinsed under cool water with a little bit of soap because there's no stones there. The connectors can also be rinsed with water. I would say for the crystals, if any like tanner or like what do they call it? Glaze.
Glaze, yeah.
Or even like glue, if any of that residue gets on crystals, you can use rubbing alcohol, like just a little Q-tip with rubbing alcohol, and just like kind of scrub those. You can also do that with the connectors as well, just to keep everything shiny and new looking. And then of course, store everything in a protective case. I have really nice ones that I'm really proud of. I customized the design of them. I had a lot of feedback from athletes as well. I made like a few different samples, and they're made like they're sized and made specifically for our bikinis, and they're branded and they're really cute. I should go upstairs and show.
Yes, please do. Show and tell.
Yeah. And also the fabric that I used for them is water resistant, which has been tried and tested. I actually had one of my old athletes. She has a daughter, and years ago now, she came and picked up her suit and then left. And then on the car ride, her daughter was with her on the car ride on the way home. Her daughter was like 3 at the time, and she was like sitting in the car seat. The little girl had a sippy cup in her car seat. The suit in the case was right next to the car seat, and the sippy cup spilled like all over the case, but the suit was perfect condition. So let me flip my camera here. But this is my little case.
That looks so professional. You did such a nice job designing that.
Thank you. I couldn't have done it without everyone's feedback. We contemplated like the size, the zipper pocket. I initially had the idea of just doing like a netted zipper pocket, but then I was getting feedback from girls saying like, well, what if the jewelry or the connectors
Like,
kind of like get caught on it? And I'm like, okay, well, that's good feedback. So I did that. And then just branding and what looks cute, what feels like would be the most functional. So
that looks so nice. Now I'm super excited because I know like I've had like
thank you.
suits in the past where it's like almost like a little seashell where like yeah you can fold up your suit and it works, but at the same time it's like then you're thinking about okay well if you didn't clean your suit it was tan and then you're folding on top of crystals then can snag. So I like how like each little triangle top has its like own little home nestled into the case so it works
Yeah.
nice and safe. It can sleep nice and sound.
Yeah, I used to use those before I made these. I used to use those, and actually, I had a girl come to me from years ago, and she brought her suit, and I just finished just kind of upgrading it a little bit. I think I posted it in my stories today, but yeah, I had these in like all different types of colors, and then um, something happened with the the business owner who was selling these. She was just kind of slowly tapering off her business, and I'm like, okay, well, I need a different solution, so
Yeah,
I made my own.
I love that. I love that ingenuity. We love that.
Yeah, gotta stay adaptable. Gotta be flexible. Like have to be willing to just like redirect yourself when needed. And adapt. It's
Absolutely.
that skill is just part of being an entrepreneur, business owner.
A hundred
So.
percent adapt and overcome. I think those were all the questions I had. I guess like one final one is maybe like
Mhm.
lighting consideration. Like how much does that play a role when it comes to like suit color and maybe even crystal reflection?
Lighting. Lighting. Do you mean like stage lighting?
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay, yeah. So, in relation to crystals and stonework, basically, you just don't want to have too many like flashy crystals,
Sure.
like the crystals that have like the AB coatings over them, like the AB, the really really bright ones that everyone talks about, which are beautiful. But if you have like uh, a blue bikini, but then you use all clear colored and like AB crystals, it's going to kind of white out and flash out the color, which, yeah, maybe you'll be like the sparkliest on stage. However, that fabric color is there to serve you and to complement you and all of your coloring. And the crystals, make it stand out, but also at the same time, the crystals should only enhance the color fabric, not necessarily overpower it or just like wash it out.
I think that's great feedback
So,
because I do know that the reason why I asked is I was thinking about the neon girl and it's like, well, was she under stage light or was she looking at her neon green and like natural lighting or maybe photo shoot lighting? Because
like
obviously
sun lighting,
that's
yeah,
yeah, mm-hmm,
yeah,
exactly. So the lighting is so imperative because those stage lights are so harsh. So you want to
so
make sure
harsh.
you reflect without like being like almost like a traffic cone and just like being blinded.
Yeah, and that's what the judges don't want to be blinded. Like everything should be aesthetically pleasing and easy on the eyes. And so generally, if I can make any generalizations, neons stay away from.
Hmm.
It's just I feel like it's just too casual for this, and just overpowering, especially with the lighting and the tan. No neons, brown. for obvious reasons. We don't want to blend the suit in with our tan
Yeah.
so that we don't look naked. Um, white. I think white. Some people can pull off white, but white, if with the tanner stains it, and he just notices the stains too easily on that. And um, what else? Yeah, just
What about
let me help you.
pastel? Do pastels kind of? What do you think about those?
I think it's
Hmm,
situational, maybe depending on the color or depending on the person's skin. I've done pastels before and they look beautiful. They're not as rich in color as like gemstone colors,
got
but
you.
some girls look good in them. And if that's what they're feeling, why not? If a judge like I mean, how like they make all these generalizations, and it's not to say that it's not to say that there's no validity in any of the generalizations made, but I've seen girls like win in some of these suits, and maybe they're not wearing like a winning color, which I don't believe there's such a thing. But like they really just have like the best physique, and maybe they really did look good in that color, and their suit fitted them really well. And again, all of the details were just in the right place at the right time.
I love that. I think that's a good perspective because it's like there's context in everything, whether it's coaching, whether it's posing, or even design.
Mhm,
It's like context really matters for bringing out the best in your
mhm.
athlete and the work that you do. I want you to take this time to please plug yourself, so that way, if people are interested in being cared for as they want to build their dream suit with you, like I want you to go ahead and brag about yourself.
Yeah. Yes, thank you. So I guess if you're looking for what did I write on my brochure? I wrote it really well. uh, if you don't mind.
No, go for it.
Um, but Goddess Glam is committed to superior quality, superior, okay? And goddesses are superior to everyone else because what is higher than a goddess? Like you're literally immortal, okay? Superior quality, proper fit, yes. Durability, they're made to last. I know girls like to get a new bikini for every show, but they're made to last, so you can wear them for multiple shows. And excellent customer service. I'm confident in that. I don't believe I've always been perfect with that skill, but I've learned and developed, and communication is very important. And at the end of the day, girls just want to be happy and be taken care of. And I feel that I've acquired enough skills over time to accommodate this particular niche of women.
I agree. And speaking as a customer that I purchased two practice posing suits and now designing my competition suit, I chose you because I feel cared for and you see me and you communicate and collaborate with me and you're very approachable and very real. And that's something where it's like if I'm going to spend like $700 on a bikini, like
Mhm.
I want to be like not wine and dine, but like yeah, I want to feel like my business matters to you, right? And I feel like you do a really good
It
job with
does.
that. Not trying to
Yeah.
like just blow smoke up you, but like I think you do a fantastic job, which is also why I wanted to learn with you and also, give you a platform to speak on because I know there are other athletes that want to invest in the high quality bikini suit and
Mhm.
maybe don't know where to go, don't know who to trust, and I feel like this would be just a great opportunity for them to learn from you and see your style.
Thank you. Yes. And, another aspect of it all is that every athlete comes with a story, right? Like, of course, there are the girls that, like they just want to, be on stage in a pretty bikini, and that's cool. But, there are also women who are recovering from some type of disease, or they had like an incredible weight loss journey, or they just got divorced and they want to just like feel they want to plug themselves into a new goal, or they've been wanting to try this for a long time, or there's some type of inspiration behind the bodybuilding journey. And having being able to connect uh on another level other than just like this color looks good on you, this chain looks good on you, like this is just going to look pretty on you. Like it's not just about the bikini. There's so much more about
Mhm.
this that like I really appreciate. But I've grown
Mhm.
to feel those feelings. That appreciation has grown on me. So again, it's just not it's not just about the bikini for me. So um, connection and relationships, and I'm really grateful to have a lot of long-term relationships with clients as well as judges and coaches and just people in the industry who have had confidence in me and my team, um, and that is an aspect of my business that I appreciate as well. So it all plays a role. It's not just about the it's not just about the bikini.
It's really not. It's really not. It's multi-dimensional, multifaceted. I mean, like I said, you even have my trust to the point I was like, listen, you design whatever the hell you want to design and I'll wear it. Like when you have that, it's not even blind trust, it's open trust. It's like when you do such a good job and like your passion is so contagious, it's like, listen, have fun with whatever you do best and I'll have fun with what I do best. And like that
hmm
synergy is so important.
Yeah, yeah, because now you're not worrying about your bikini. You can go and hit your 60 minutes of cardio and just not have that worry. You can focus on other things. You can worry about something else, but
Exactly. Go worry about something else.
you're not gonna be worrying about your bikini.
I love it. Maria, thank you so very much for your time this evening. I really do appreciate being able to learn with you, learn from you and your experience, then also work alongside you when it comes to creating my custom suit and my dream suit, and then also doing such a good job of taking care of my athletes. Like, they have nothing but kind things to say about not only your customer service, how you made them feel on show day, even doing just the customization of the practice posing suits. So thank you so much.
Well, thank you for hosting me today, and thank you for working with me and just having confidence in me and my team, and for all of the referrals and everything that you've done for me, and just for being a part of my journey. Cheers to 10 years in business. I'm just so grateful.
That's so amazing. Well, congratulations to you. Thank you again. And guys, I will catch you next Monday with another IG Live. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you next week. Take care.
Bye.